There we are. What's up? What's up? It took its time to get us here, but we here. So let's get to it. Yes. Chirs Eubank and Conor Benn, man, I'm telling you, Chirs Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, boy, they have had some conflict one another. And here's some of the highlights of what went down in offers today.
That's asked for a rematch.
Don't forget to subscribe. This fight is going to be a war.
It's going to be a rematch. No, come on, no, it's too much. It's too much. We're not here to hear you chat shit to Eddie. It's all bullshit.
That's the best thing you've said all night.
The only voice I want to hear is Conor, or my own voice. I have. It's the truth. What are we doing here?
Play a team.
No. This is not a team sport. It's going to be me and Conor hurting each other in a few months' time. So all this bullshit that you guys are going back and forth about now, it's irrelevant. No one's going to remember.
We started it, like the rehydration.
Now, I read a tweet that made me chuckle last week. And it kind of sums up what this fight is. The guy said, Chirs Eubank Jr. is an arrogant fucking prick. Word for word. And I can't wait until he smashes the eggs out of Conor Benn. That's what the tweet was. Beautifully written. I don't understand it, but that's the passion that we have garnered now for this fight. Too bad, guys. Conor, I've been meaning to ask you for a long time. It's interested me. How many eggs did you have to eat to fail those two drugs tests? You dirty Please tell me. It's been racking my brains for a long time. No one wants to know.
The reality is, I've been cleared 3 times by the NADP, by the WBC, by UCAD, by the way, which people are a lot smarter than you. Number 1, I've been cleared. 2, you will never be cleared of being a wanker. That's it.
So that's not saying you've been cleared. What does that mean?
I'm cleared of people by a lot.
What does it mean?
You have the IQ of a 5-year-old child.
Does that mean that the drugs went in your system?
I've been cleared. Done.
There you go.
That's it. No, you keep going on, but I've been cleared.
The entire public wants to know why
that's the truth.
there were performance-enhancing drugs in your system, and all you and Eddie can come up with
Do your
after
research.
2.5 years.
Do your research. Do your
He's been cleared. We can't say how or why.
Do your research.
He's been cleared.
Well, I'd like to say, you don't spend nearly £1 million to fight the case if you're a drugs cheat.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
their own money. No,
He's an idiot. He owes Neymar £4 million. That's why he's taking this fight. Some sort of shit.
How did you say? What?
I said he owes Neymar £4 million. You're not heard. No, exactly. Don't come and talk to me about bollocks. This is why you've taken this fight, and you're about to get rendered unconscious for it. You're money hungry. That's the only reason.
I'll just give you a chance to explain yourself to the
You sit
public.
down and have a
I
think.
guess you guys don't have an explanation, but you're cleared. I guess.
None, but people who are a lot smarter than you, Chris.
Listen, I'm sure you are. I'm a fighter.
Oh, well, exactly.
I'm not an academic.
Well, that's it.
But one thing I do know is you are a judge.
You know, is you're an idiot who's not this fight because you owe someone some money. That's what I know.
How much money do you owe Eddie? Let's talk about that.
I owe Eddie nothing.
I've heard you
Okay,
pay for your house, you pay for your cars.
I can confirm that's incorrect. Conor Benn owes us.
What shit?
We all know we can't trust what you say.
But what shit are you talking
I think that
What
that is
shit are
actually
you
the
talking
reason why you're pushing so hard for this fight, because you want to recoup some of that money.
I love the fight. I think he wins.
I know, of course you think.
No, you don't, I did.
Of course I do, Ben.
No, you
That's why I didn't want a rematch.
You
You know, sure there was money.
you wanted a rematch. You bet for it.
We don't give a shit about the rematch. We care about what's going to happen on April 26th.
What's going to happen? Because you keep talking about the last.
This is the easiest press conference I've ever done. I don't even need to be here.
What happens April 26th, Chris?
What do you mean what happens?
You tell us.
Do you like I haven't said it a million times already?
Really, you can't beat around the bush. If you're the bigger man, points, have some respect. How do you win?
I said, I am the better fighter, not because of my size, but because of my pedigree, because of my experience, because of these 35-year-old fists.
And what happens?
What happens is tune in and you will see.
It's a good way to say it. Tune in is right, April 26th. Chris, I know you want this to be the Chris and Conor show, but Ronnie Shields is there, Jonathan Banks is there, and it'd be wrong of me not to get a word from the great Ronnie Shields, who has been involved in Benn versus Eubank for 4 decades. Ronnie, what do you make of this? That the son's getting it on just like the way you saw Senior and Nigel get it on?
Well, I think it's great. Can everyone hear me all right?
We can.
By the way, you referred to Ronnie Davis.
Ronnie Davis,
respect for that.
There's only
It's
one.
not too much of a game to fuck up his name.
Anyway, I've got the greatest respect for obviously Nigel Benn and his son. I'm old school, I don't stack fires off all the trainers. How can I not have a great lot of respect for Nigel Benn when I was in the opposite corner from him twice, 2 major wars. It's quite sickening sometimes being in the corner for seeing them punches go in. And I think we're going to see another great fight. I would say, may the best man win. But Conor, Chris is too big for you, mate, and you haven't boxed enough, and you haven't fought at his level. He's too big. And he is good. People don't realise how good.
Too good, Davis. Come on now. I just spent the whole time saying how I don't like people saying I'm too big. Now you say I'm too big. It's the skills. It's what you've watched me do since I was 14 years old, traveling up to London, traveling all around the country, sparring all these pros, going to Vegas, putting in the work, paying my dues.
Yeah, you sparred with Floyd, you sparred with Floyd, you sparred with...
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's how long ago was that? And look what happened with Liam Smith. Got to answer me that. What went on there? There was a reason for that, which in my opinion, but I won't disclose. Well, even the second fight, for the first 3 rounds, he was holding up and dear life and didn't realise that Smith ain't got nothing to fight him. That they shouldn't have took the fight. Chris done what he had to do. He put on a great performance. No, that's not a great performance, man. I don't want to get involved in those slagging matches. Not my way. We're not getting into that. We're not slagging anybody up. We're doing great performance. All I say is it'll be a great fight for the fans and everyone. May the best man win, which will be Eubank. He's too big, he's too experienced, and he's very, very good. I know Eubank's better than anyone. I've been with him since he was born. Yeah, I know. Same here with my son. Can I? Yeah, I'm not saying any different, Nigel. All I'm saying is, a lot of people don't know what he is. I do. I'll just rest my case on that one. Eubanks wins.
Ronnie, thank you very much. Ronnie Davis, apologies again. Thank you very much. Jonathan Banks, you've been quiet at the end there. You've been nodding your head, laughing, agreeing with a lot of what Chris has had to say. What do you make of this fight? Jonathan, again, you've been in big fights, world title fights. You've been alongside Vladimir Klitschko. You've been in some big ones. What do you make of this one?
Now, as you can see, things got real heated fast. And this one, all hell broke loose.
Listen to it.
April 26th, live on dazn worldwide and Sky Sports box office in the UK and Ireland, Saturday, April 26th. It's Benn versus Eubank. The limit 160 pounds. The family feud goes on.
Oh, tempers flaring there. I got that one wrong, didn't I? Sorry to say I did tell you before that you called that one, and it really has erupted down here on the stage.
That's absolutely.
Boy, he ready to choke him out. He hit Nigel Benn with an egg. Cracked the egg on him.
Wow. Well, I really wasn't expecting that. I absolutely was not expecting that, because the tenor of the press conference was, it was edgy, it was lively, but it was quite good-humoured mostly, to be honest, and then that got completely out of control. We didn't really hear what they were saying to each other. We could have done with Michael Buffer just taking it easy there so we could listen into the fighters, but something was said, and Eubank struck. Oh,
Hey.
April 26th, live wide and Sky Sports box office in the UK and Ireland. April 26th. It's Ben versus Eubank. The limit 160 pounds. The family feud goes on.
oh, tempers flaring there.
I got that one wrong, didn't I?
Sorry to say I did tell you before that you called that one, and it really has erupted down here on the stage.
That's absolutely.
Wow. Well, I really wasn't expecting that. I absolutely was not expecting that, because the tenor of the press conference was, it was edgy, it was lively, but it was quite good-humoured mostly, to be honest, and then that got completely out of control. We didn't really hear what they were saying to each other. We could have done with Michael Buffer just taking it easy there so we could listen into the...
It's crazy. Hit him with an egg, dog. He cracked the egg on his head. That's why he kept talking all that egg crap. So when he cracked him with the egg, man, it just went left. Yeah, that's why you got to always make sure you do your due diligence. Yeah, he don't want no parts of it.
And was famous. I wanted to show that I knew what I was going to say. I wasn't asking what he's going to do. But he's Chirs Eubank Jr. and he'll make headlines. And do I condone that? Probably not. Maybe it looks worse than it was initially. But an unbelievable and entertaining press conference.
What words have you had with Chris?
I'm going to go and see him after this, but yeah, I've not spoken to him yet.
Is this what we can expect from the press conference in London and the entire build-up? You have to keep these guys apart from now on?
I think so. Look, I think people forget what Chirs Eubank Jr. went through in that first fight, and people just seem to brush over it. He cut weight to an unnatural limit, to a disgusting really limit, and then didn't even fight, didn't even get paid a penny. Impacted his career massively. Ended up with the Liam Smith camp as well, back to back, and we saw what happened in his performance there. And so he's been carrying that with him for a couple of years. I'm not condoning what he did. I'm just saying this is personal. It's not born rivals. It's not about the dads. And I'm hoping it'll calm down for Thursday.
Ben, what was said between yourself and Eddie at the end of the press conference saw sort of going back and forth? He's here now.
Eddie's here. Let's ask him.
Eddie thought that I knew about it.
Well, no, because
but also he thought that it was something else. You didn't think it was an egg.
No, I thought it was a glass, first of all. Whatever it was, he hit Conor in the eye with something. What I was angry about is because I don't believe everything that Eubank does is premeditated.
I agree with
He
that.
didn't go into the kitchen this morning, get an egg out of the fridge, not tell anyone what he was going to do, and just turn up at the press conference.
Just on that, I've just said, when that scumbag press conference happened, I said to him, tell me what you're going to say. I wasn't asking what he's going to do. He wouldn't tell me anything that he's going to say. Did I expect that? No. Should he have done it? No, probably not. But I don't think it.
Probably.
I don't think it was as bad as we first saw it.
Eddie, do you think Conor's going to retaliate at the next press conference?
Oh yeah, it's on site now. I mean, if anyone here sees Nigel Benn tonight, avoid him.
Especially me.
Don't. Oh, you're done for. Don't approach Nigel Benn tonight, because this is what we've got to think about on Thursday. Now we've got to put provisions in place, because this is attack on site stuff. Conor's not going to sleep on this and then go, oh, it's okay now. Yeah, don't worry about it, Chris. As soon as he sees Eubank, he's going to attack him. So it's our job now to make sure that we have the provisions in place to make sure that doesn't happen.
What were you both saying to each other? Because it looked like you were both being held back.
I said to him, because I'm still not convinced. I believe I said, if you knew about this, you're a dog. That's what I said. And he said, I didn't know anything about it. I have to take his word for that. But I don't believe the team didn't know about what they were going to do. And I just think hitting someone around the face, in the eye, with an object is not the thing to do. I can see a push, but to carry something up and hit someone around the face with it, for me, is a bitch move. And what happens now is the game changes. But the game is the game. And if you want to do that, you have to live with the consequences of that. And we have to put the provisions in place to make sure that we put a lid on it, to make sure this doesn't get out of control. Because if they see each other now, the whole fight's off. Because they're scrapping till the absolute end.
Do you think this could be the biggest build-up in British boxing?
I've told you, this was already a big build-up. I mean, the only thing that I'm disappointed about now, and I love Tottenham Stadium, but we really needed a much bigger stadium, because these pre-sale tickets have moved like I've never seen before. And we know on Friday it's an instant sellout anyway, but we could have done, what was it, 70,000? We could have done with 100,000 easy on this fight.
Eddie, Radio Raheem, we were all in the press row actually wondering how long it was going to take for Ben to either get hit with something or lean into something. After the push in Saudi, were you not expecting something from Eubank?
What, for him to hit him around the face with an egg in the eye? No, not really.
Something, yeah. I mean,
that's exactly where it was.
Can you describe the rivalry between you both? Because
this is very dramatic.
You said you were on good terms at one point in the press conference, but it doesn't
We are
seem like you're on good terms.
No, we are on good terms. I don't believe he didn't know about it.
No, you know I didn't know.
No, I don't, because I think you're a little bit snaky.
No, you know I didn't.
No.
Don't talk.
No. Be quiet. Because no.
You can't say things.
No, stop. Because then I'll take you for. Listen, I've been very nice to you lately.
You can't say things.
And I've been very nice to you lately. I've given you a big education in the last couple of weeks. I've told you were very lucky to be talking to me. Right. But we do get on well. We actually have a bit of banter. He actually, if you don't mind me saying, he was asking me potentially to go on Boxer's Ball.
Yeah, it was a good joke.
Oh, was it a joke? Oh, I was actually getting excited by that. No. But the reality is it can't be.
I gotta wait on the way
in. So I don't have any emotion towards this man. I just think it was a bitch move. If he knew about it, I would have expected him. If Conor Benn came up to me and said, I'm going to hit Chirs Eubank with this.
Eddie, we spent 2 weeks trying to get out of Chirs Eubank Jr. what he's going to say. 2 weeks. He wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell his girlfriend. He wouldn't tell his girlfriend. He wouldn't tell Napa. He wouldn't tell his best friend. We know why now.
So he took the egg alone.
We know why now.
He was the only man who knew about the egg.
Listen, we know why.
How did he smuggle it in? It was unbelievable.
Yeah, the security was.
Do you think it was in his LV pack?
That's why you wear one.
Next time I go up to you, I'm going to go, all right, Chris, I'm just trying to pack the egg in there. Do you know what I mean?
Ben, you kept alluding to the rehydration clause in the press conference. Do you think they tried to sort of skirt over the matter to maybe get away with
I think that's the rehydration?
I think so.
Ben, do you think there'll be any repercussions? People are talking about a hefty fine from the board and also a hefty fine potentially from the promoter for not having a better handle on the situation. Just saying, that's what they said. I don't know.
In terms of the rehydration clause, a lot were brought up in the press conference about it. Obviously, Eddie tried to it was moved along quite quickly when they were talking about the weights. Do you think that was something that they was obviously trying to skirt around?
The only way we got Chris over the line with that was by getting him more money. And he didn't want to do it, but in the end, money is what Chirs Eubank Jr. wants. He made a business decision and he can make the weight and he took the money.
Is there any chance there's an injury to Ben's eyes or any?
No, it's fine. He's fine.
Let's get one more. What's your feelings on His Excellency saying the winner gets a fight against?
Yeah, that's how confident he is that Eubank's going to win because there's no chance he thinks Conor Benn is fighting Canelo.
Directed to me.
That's the answer. There you go.
Eddie from Wish. I think that basically Conor's future is back down at 147. If I'm honest, if he deals with a middleweight in style, who knows? But it's a big jump to 68, and it's a big jump size-wise to Canelo Alvarez.
How unfair against Canelo do you feel?
I mean, you're talking about Conor is a similar size to Crawford, but doesn't have his credentials. Quite frankly, doesn't have his ability just yet. And I think Crawford will probably get beat. So, but if he steps up to middleweight and destroys Eubank inside 3 rounds, which is very possible, who knows?
Do you think the Bivol better be a rematch will happen?
I think Bivol is the king, and he can fight whoever he wants or whoever His Excellency tells us to fight. Canelo rematch, Benavidez, Callum Smith, Beterbiev 3, all amazing fights. He's ready for all of them, but he'll be out for a while.
Out of all those, which one do you want?
I do like Beterbiev 3 because the first 2 are my favourite fights, but I'd love to see Callum Smith get the chance.
Last one, what did Ben say to you backstage?
Ben? Conor or him? Dopey.
I mean, either one. Did anyone have words for you?
I said to Shalom, if you knew about that, you're a dog. Because we talked before, and he said, I swear I didn't know about it. He's got a track record with that kind of stuff. To be honest, Eubank don't really talk to him that much, so maybe I do believe him. Conor Benn, absolutely ready to fight, not Chirs Eubank, an entire nation of men. And Nigel Benn, ready to do it with a blindfold on.
Why do you think Eubank didn't want you to speak at the press conference?
Because it's a premeditated thing. He watched David Haye do it a few years ago, and it's like the easy thing to do, isn't it? What should I do? Everything that Eubank does is premeditated. Do you think that he sat down and when I started talking, he went, oh, I'm going to say this? He doesn't have the wit. He doesn't have the IQ to do that. What he's doing is he's sitting there like the egg, all right? And he's gone, right, when Eddie talks, they're all sitting. This is what they're like, these people. Ben included, because he's all the... What you do is, when Eddie starts talking, you just butt in and say, we don't want to hear from you. I mean, fucking hell. That's fucking like Einstein stuff. And then what you do is take an egg up, right? And when you get face to face, slap him with the egg. Yeah. To be honest with you, if you would have slapped the egg on here as a little bit of a laugh, not the best, but not here. Because you've slapped him and, that shell breaks in your eye. Who knows what's going to happen? Then we've got no fight. But luckily, Conor's fine. Let's roll on Thursday.
Why do you think His Excellency is pulling for Ben instead of Eubank? That's what he said. He said he wanted you to do the business this time.
No, maybe we always have a laugh, me and him, because he always says none of my fighters win. And now Callum Smith won, and Bivol won, and I'm the promoter of arguably the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. Everything changes. And don't forget, watch Nigel Benn against Iron Barkley. And that's what's going to happen on April 26th.
Thank you. Radio Raheem with Eddie Hearn.
Now, there we go. Now, as you can see, how I think this fight's going to go. I think Chirs Eubank Jr. is going to wear him down, as Conor Benn is too small for him, and the punches will have an effect. The weight will be a difference. I don't think they take the rematch. I think once the fight is over, I don't think they jump back in the ring with. I don't think it's good in name, but the size difference is entirely different to a degree where it's just punishing, that I don't think it's beneficial for them to even think about moving forward in that format, because to move in that format and to go with that kind of energy, it's gonna hurt you down the road more than it's gonna help them. So it's not gonna benefit you. I would be surprised if Conor Benn wins. He would have to win by knockout, and it would have to be early. Anything past 3-4 rounds, Chirs Eubank Jr. will pick him apart. I see it as right now, probably a 12-round beating, or he might stop him late. So It's a huge jump from welterweight to middleweight. It's a huge jump. You got to have the right opponent. You can't have a big middleweight. And Eubanks is too big for Conor Benn. But you never know. His power may resonate up there. You never know. And that's why they fight. I'm out.